We're looking at how the Quran validates the Bible. And by the way, the Bible doesn't need the Quran to validate itself. There are many, many other methods of validation of the facts and the points outside the Quran. The Bible consists of the Hebrew and Greek scriptures. The Hebrew is kept, supported, and honored by Christians and Jews. The Greek scriptures are kept, supported, and honored by Christians. From the Quran, Pickthal, Surah 1094. If thou, Muhammad, art in doubt concerning that which we revealed unto thee, then question those who read the scripture that was before thee. Verily the truth from thy Lord hath come unto thee, so be not thou of the waverers. In an older version of the Pickthal, this may show up as 1095. In verse 93, the address is to the children of Israel, and here in 94, the focus switches to Muhammad in former scriptures. If you, Muhammad, have doubts about what has been revealed to you, consult those who read those scriptures God revealed before or in the past. And by the way, don't waver in this. This verse validates former scriptures and indicates that those former scriptures are available at the time of Muhammad and valid and should be consulted when history or doctrine need to be clarified. There are several verses in the Quran to this effect, and we'll look at those. Surah 4, 163 and 164, the Shir Ali version. Surely we have sent revelation to thee, and we've sent revelation to Noah and the prophets after him. And we sent revelation to Abraham, Ishmael, Isaac, Jacob, and his children, and to Jesus, to Job, Jonah, Aaron, Solomon. And we gave David a book, and we sent some messengers whom we have already mentioned to thee, and some messengers whom we have not mentioned to thee. And to Moses Allah spoke at great length. God sent revelation or revealed these former scriptures to many people, all of whom are not prophets. And also note that in Islam we hear much about the Torah, Zabur, and Injil, but here God indicates revelation which are not a part of these revered scriptures. Those would be Job, the book he's covered in the book of Job, Solomon, who wrote the Song of Solomon, and his life detailed in parts of the 1st and 2nd Kings, 1st and 2nd Chronicles, and Jonah, as detailed in the book of Jonah. And note also that God said that he had messengers that he had not even mentioned. These are the great prophets and writers of the Old and New Testament, which are not mentioned here. Also, most people don't know, but God spoke his revelation to Moses directly, not through an angel. But he spoke in an audible voice many times. And God was so enamored with Abraham that he visited him many times in person, in bodily form, and talked to him in person. So from the beginning, God is showing up in person to his prophets. His last appearance is recorded as a part of Scripture is to the Apostle Paul. God wanted Paul to become a follower of Christ and not the law, and to stop persecuting Christians. So he showed up, converted him on the spot. You can read that in Acts 9 in the New Testament. We're going to look quickly at some other admonitions to Muhammad regarding former scriptures. The Quran admonishes both Christians and Jews of Arabia to abide by and judge according to the injunctions contained in their scriptures. Look here, it says, the Torah, it's guidance and light. Don't revere human beings. Don't reverence human beings, but reverence me instead. Part of that is reverencing my former scriptures. He advised Christians to judge by the gospel. The gospel came through Jesus, and it was a revelation given especially for the followers of Jesus to study and obey. Here he says it's guidance and light, confirming what was revealed before the Torah. You stand on nothing until you observe the Torah and the gospel. Then he uses the term disbelieving as if applied to everyone else. So the Quran is emphatic towards Christians and Jews as believers in God that they should read and study and observe the former scriptures, and that it validates these scriptures, that they come from God, and states that if God is telling the Christians and the Jews through Muhammad to obey these scriptures, How much clearer does it have to be than what we read here? Another in Surah 21:7, and we have sent before thee as apostles other men whom we inspired. Ask therefore who are acquainted with the book, if ye know not. According to Jalaluddin, the people of the book are learned men of the Torah and the Injil. Al-Baydhawi tells us regarding this verse, 21:7, this is given as a reply to the speech of the Quraysh. God directs them to ask people of the book regarding the character of the ancient prophets before them. The Quraysh were pagans. How could these pagans validate the claims of the Prophet Muhammad? By checking with the Jews and Christians. Christians and Jews could not have validated what the Prophet said if their scriptures were not available to them at the time and in authentic form. And they were. We know this from history. They were not, however, in Arabic, the Arabic language. They're in Syriac, Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek. Not only are Muslims required to believe in the Bible, but also they are forbidden from making a distinction between these revelations, the former scriptures talked about in the Quran, and the Quran itself. Leaving out these revelations previous to the Quran would amount to making a serious distinction between them. Also, it will lead Muslims to believing only part of the total revelation from God. This will make a person not only a bad Muslim, but also condemn him as an infidel. There are awful consequences for rejecting God and His revealed scriptures, believing only in part of them, as explained here clearly. Don't say that we believe in some and reject others. The evidence presented here from the Quran clearly implies the existence and availability of Hebrew, the Torah and the Zabur, and the Greek, the Gospels. These scriptures were in the prophet's presence. It testifies of their authenticity and inspired nature. They are appealed to by the prophet, and their observance is taught and repeated. All Muslims are expected by God to believe in these scriptures, and a rejection of them has dire consequences in the world to come. Many say or have said, but they are corrupted, the ones we have currently. Yet, no evidence of that is presented, and as we have shown here, the theory is demolished by the impossible logistics of trying to achieve such a thing. And let me leave you with one additional verse in view of the clear teaching of the Quran about the authenticity of the Bible and its freedom from corruption. Early doctors of Islam and many scholars following their lead would not entertain a view contrary to this. This verse serves to strengthen that view. I hope that you will get in touch. My email is presented here, and I hope that you have a very wonderful day.